First, I'd like to respond to what you...
Would you please answer my question? My time is limited.
I did not ask you a question yet, sir. I ask you to please refrain from interrupting me.
Shame on you, Mr. Barr.
Can I just say, Mr.
Shame on you.
Can I just
My
say,
time has expired. This is my time.
I'm answering, and
I have short time.
Well,
Can you just tell me why you have not done a pattern?
We were not taking down public health orders. We were making narrow...
The gentleman's time is
We were calling attention to the fact...
Will you restore my time because this witness is speaking over my time?
Then let me continue.
Police,
Mr. Attorney General, I want to respect you, but I have a short time.
When people resist law enforcement, they're not peaceful.
Reclaiming my time. I'm surprised at your lack of respect.
Mr. Barr, if I
Yeah, but this is a hearing. I thought I was the one that was supposed to be heard.
More moments. Unbelievable. The mistreatment. Look, this was nothing but an all-day press event for Joe Biden on behalf of the lunatics, led by Jerry Nadler and company yesterday. We just had Jim Jordan, who had a phenomenal day, as did Louie Gohmert and Congressman Andy Biggs, both with us now. I will say that apparently Louie Gohmert earlier today tested positive for COVID-19. I guess you were scheduled to get on a plane and fly Air Force One with the president. Little scary. I'm sorry to hear it. Always scary for anybody. Yeah. I don't know if you have any underlying health conditions. I hope you're not. I've known you for many years. You're very healthy and seem to be in good shape. How do you feel? How are you feeling about it?
Well, very totally asymptomatic right now, and hopefully that will continue. May sound like the optimist that fell out a window and at every floor said, "I'm doing all right so far." So, but right now I'm doing okay. I don't have any symptoms, and that's why when the first short test, it's real quick, said positive, they said, we've had some false positives. Let us check, and they did. And the second was positive. So anyway, I was surprised. I thought that you quarantined for 14 days, but they said the doctors at the White House, attending physicians said, well, it's 10 days if you're diagnosed with it, 14 if you've been exposed to somebody. So anyway.
Now, you were in the hearing yesterday with the Attorney General. I think you talked to him, so I guess he might have to self-quarantine for 14 days, or?
Well, no, I don't think so. He was wearing a mask when he wasn't talking, and
right.
Actually, there's stuff floating around, that Nadler chastised Gohmert for not wearing a mask. I've worn my mask more, and especially when I'd be around people, but one of my nostrils doesn't work well since I broke my nose playing football in high school. And so, anyway, if I'm not around somebody, I'm not wearing a mask. But anyway, there's just so much garbage out there. I'm told it's all over that I went to the house gym. Well, our field house in high school was nicer than the gym, but it's been locked for months. I hadn't been in that gym for months. It'd be nice to go work out every now and then, but that's not the case.
So where are you gonna? Obviously, you're gonna isolate yourself. Where are you gonna lock down? In your office by yourself?
No. I'll do that back in Texas, but I won't fly. I won't take a train, and I won't expose anybody. So I'll just be very careful.
All right. So you're gonna have to drive to Texas. That's a long drive.
Yeah. Actually, I enjoy it.
Listen, we just wish you the best. You've been a friend of ours in the program for a long time. And let me ask you this, because I've thought a lot about what I would do if I ever got it. I know I know so many people that got it up here. And I know the course of action I would take based on consultation with my doctors, and anyone has to make their own decision in consultation with their doctor. Do you have any thoughts on whether or not you will treat this? We had the Henry Ford study with hydroxychloroquine, zinc, and erythromycin.
I think it's a fantastic idea, but it was met with some opposition here on the Hill. But I mean, there are doctors. Sean, you've been talking about this forever. The president has, and I got doctors back home that have said this really has helped so many of my patients.
The Ford study said it. The study that Dr. Oz talks about said it. The one study the media cited ended up having to be retracted that said it was not safe. Daniel Wallace.
You pointed that out again yesterday.
Yeah, I did.
Yep.
So,
Yep, you did.
So is your treatment going to be hydroxy and zinc and azithromycin? Have you decided? Or are you looking at remdesivir?
I'm asymptomatic.
And you don't have to answer any of these questions. I just know what my answer would be.
Sean, you're my friend. I'll answer any question you ask. But no, I think that's what I would like to do. I think exactly what you've been talking about for months, that it really does seem to have made a difference. And like you said yesterday, and you said before, the only study that says otherwise had to be retracted. See,
it says you need it early. This is now early. So I assume I'm not going to ask any more questions about it. By the way, Andy Biggs is also with us. He did not test positive that we know for COVID-19. And, I don't want anybody to listen. I don't want to get a common cold. I don't wish anybody get any virus. I mean, I hope we get to the day we can conquer all viruses and all disease and heart disease and cancer. And unfortunately, this is the worst pandemic we've had since 1918. And, I think we're seeing the similar pattern now play out in the Sun Belt. We'll see if I'm right, and that is the 6 to 8 week period like we saw in New York and some of these other places. And as long as you don't make the mistake of putting people with COVID into nursing homes and long-term care facilities, you keep the death rate down dramatically because it's not killing at any level at all, just a rare case here and there, young people. And anyway... welcome, both of you. We just had Jim Jordan on, and I asked you both. You guys were in this show yesterday. Andy, we'll start with you, and it was nothing but a nonstop campaign commercial for Joe Biden.
Yeah, that's exactly right. The first thing that happened is Jim Jordan did a great job blitzing him with that video. He told us he was going to do that. It was fantastic. And then the second thing they did is they were silenced when Mr. Barr said to them, "Is it okay to burn down federal courthouses now?" From that point on, they didn't want to hear a single word from him, and they were outrageous. They were rude, and that's why you kept saying, Sean, in your montage there at the beginning, they kept saying, "I'm going to reclaim my time." They didn't want him to talk because when he talks, he basically emasculates their position. And they were really trying to turn it into a political circus, which I think they looked pretty stupid and pretty bad.
I think it backfired on them. And I watched Barr. He had the patience of Job dealing with these idiots. But you know what? They all, in my view, they embarrassed themselves with what they did and asking questions and then not letting him get a word out to answer. And him saying the threat to minorities posed by crime is so great in these cities. We need to protect our fellow citizens. He said Portland rioters, it's a myth. Nadler said that they're rioters, they're mothers and veterans and mayors, and that's just wrong. What he's saying, our eyes don't lie to us like they didn't lie in the George Floyd case. And, as Barr said to the Democrat, why can't you just say violence against federal courthouses have to stop? Since when is it okay to burn down a courthouse, he said. Louie.
Yeah, he was terrific. He is exactly what we need for an attorney general. And, for heaven's sake, when these people are saying, there was no rioting, these were peaceful, and you see the fires burning and all these things come flying at the police. And what are they talking about, peaceful? This is Marxist dream material, and they're playing it out like they did in 1917, like they did in China and Mao, and they're trying to play it out here. But Bill Barr is exactly what we need for an attorney general, just a lot of class.
Well, the reason is he's getting close on a couple of things. Number one, we have a duty and responsibility to protect federal property. He's also, the president's begging these liberal mayors and governors to help restore order. They don't want it, but he can protect federal property, and he's doing it, and they're doing it successfully. And of course, Andy, Bill Barr just said, I'm going to find the truth in terms of what happened and was there this big abuse of power corruption scandal? We now know the answer is yes, because we already have the evidence.
Yeah, that's right. And They did not. By the way, they didn't want him talking about that at all yesterday. But that only came up when Republicans asked. But the reality is, we know there was abuse. We know that there was corruption. We know that it was done for political purposes. And Durham's on the case, and he's going to get it done. But he announced something yesterday that I thought was interesting, where he said that he's appointed another attorney to be investigating another very particularized piece of criminal conduct that we know was taking place in the previous administration as well. So there's a whole series of outrages committed under the Biden-Obama administration that they're going to get to the bottom pretty soon. And doggone it, they need to indict some folks. And I think when that happens, the other shoe's going to drop on this corruption.
Well, I'm wondering, Louie, what's taking Barr so long? It's getting frustrating.
Well, exactly, and I've been concerned. I'd heard rumors that Durham did not want to affect the election, but Sean, every single day now he delays coming out with indictments is another day he is affecting the election by not bringing forth real justice, and people are really concerned about it. He would have less effect on the election if he would just come out now. Been better months ago, but there are people that committed crimes that need to answer for them, and we're counting on him. And he kind of been absent without leave here.
Well, all of which is true, and it's frustrating beyond words to me. And I just got to tell you, if we're going to have an election for 2020, don't we need to know what really happened in 2016? It's unbelievable because, the process crime committers and on the president's side, well, they were all arrested, prosecuted, rushed to judgment. They had their men in tactical gear and CNN cameras and frogmen for lying to Congress. We have referrals for Comey, McCabe, others lying to Congress, and yet nothing happens. It gets frustrating. You begin to question whether there's going to be equal justice and application of the laws. Andy Biggs.
Yeah, no, that's right, Sean. The number one question that I get is how come the disparate treatment, and when will we see indictments? And they bring up the same points you just brought up. You had a referral on Comey, you had a referral on McCabe, and they denied prosecution. Initially I thought, well, maybe they're trying to do it as a package, get everybody together. But we're not seeing it. Even the guy who the agent that submitted a doctored application for a FISA warrant, where are the prosecutions of these people? And it begins to look like if you're Hillary Clinton and if you're the Democrats, you get off. If you're attacking Republicans or this administration, you don't get held accountable. That is really it's something that I think is driving everybody, at least certainly on the Republican side, on the conservative side, absolutely crazy, because we want to see even justice, and we're not seeing it.
All right, well, stay right there. More with Louie Gohmert and Congressman Andy Biggs.
Now it's time to take back America. This is the Hannity Show.
All right, final moments. Louie Gohmert, Congressman Texas, Congressman Andy Biggs. All right, Louie, so I just want to go back to you personal. We've been friends for many, many years. We love you. We care about you. When do you think you're going to begin your long drive home?
Well, probably tonight. I enjoy driving at night, and I do well at night. I enjoy that. So probably.
How many hours is it from D.C. to where you are?
20, 22, something like that.
And you're going to do it in how many days? 2?
No, I'll probably do it in 1. 20 hours, whatever.
You're going to drive for 20 straight hours?
Well, I will pull through a drive-through.
Maybe pull through, You may want to bring some food with you, water with you. You may have to take a bathroom break occasionally.
In the future, Sean, he can always listen to Live Free or Die, the audio version. There's something to keep you up.
Hey, by the way, it took me 19 hours to record it.
That's almost all the way home, Louie. Look at that, 19
Louie,
hours.
We'll send you. Can we FedEx him one? I'll get you a copy.
It's an audio file. I don't need to FedEx it.
Oh, we're going to send you the audio file. How do you like that?
Really? I was going to go on Audible and get
No. The least we can do. All right, Andy, our advice to you is just stay away from Louie for 14 days. And I'm not trying to be mean, but you're in our prayers as everybody that has gotten this as what is an invisible enemy. And We're getting past it. Therapeutic progress, vaccine progress. We're now seeing the Sun Belt beginning to flatten, and I think we're seeing, according to all the doctors I talked to, the emergence of the same pattern as these other states that got hit hard. Yet they're not killing all the old people because they're not dumb like these Democratic governors. But we wish you the best. Thank you both. 800-941-SEAN, our number. Your calls are next.